it's Karen with Yes Please Paper Crafts. In today's video I'm going to be doing another page kit mystery, and this is where I take an item from my craft room and I use that to build a page kit. And so all three of these layouts have used the item that I'm going to be using today to build a page kit. So those are going to be our clues for guessing what I'm going to be using. So the title of this video, which is also a clue, is called Trip to Asia, a Scrapbook Collector's Mystery. And so that's a clue. And the first page here that I have here is a picture of me and my uncle. We went on a cruise and we stopped in, I think this is Cozumel, Mexico. And I just thought that this was such a cute idea to use these cactuses and then the little llamas. And I did fussy cut those out of some paper. So on this particular page, I used a mini version of the item that we're going to be using today to build our page kit. Okay, so that's another clue. Okay, next up we have this page. I have two little dogs. They're Yorkies, and they love to sit anywhere where it's soft and comfortable. And if I don't have beds in my craft room, they get upset at me. And so I have to go over to the living room and pull the beds from there into my craft room, and I got tired of dragging those beds back and forth, so I decided to get beds for their just for them for the craft room. And I got these two little beds, and they're so cute. And so I call them their princess beds because the fabric is really pretty. It's like a cream with a coral floral design, and then the inside is like a faux fur. It's super soft, and I just love the scrapbook pictures of my dogs. So this is called Princess Beds. Okay, and the last one that I have here is this page, and the title of this one is called Amazing Sushi. And these pictures are from a restaurant that my mom and I went to. We had lunch, and I just thought this was really cute. But I did fussy cut out some flowers, and then I used some die cuts and stickers, and yeah, I thought that was really cute. So did y'all guess? If you did, you still have a chance to leave a comment if you know what the mystery item is. Okay, so I'm going to share with you what we're going to be using today to build our page kit. And we are going to be using a collection. Now, I know a lot of y'all are thinking, well, Karen, why do you need to build a page kit? You already have a collection. But I find that a lot of times with the collection, you just don't have enough to build a page. For one, all of the paper in here is super busy, and so there's not really anything to use as a background. You don't really have anything to use to mat your photos, and you don't have an alpha or anything to use as a title. So there's a lot of things that you really need in addition to this page kit. I think the page kits are a good starter, but I think that for me, it doesn't have everything I need to build an entire page. I also wanted to mention in the other layouts that I did, this particular one comes from Echo Park, and I think it's called Once Upon a Time, and it's really cute. And if you have little girls, or I have little girl dogs, it's a really adorable collection to create scrapbook pages for girls. And I think they also have a Once Upon a Time for boys as well, and this is Echo Park. And then this one here is, shoot, I'm trying to think of the name of it. I picked this up at Tuesday morning, and it's a mini kit. I think it's My Mind's Eye, and I will check and I will put the name of the kit somewhere on the screen here and let you know exactly which one it is, because I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's a My Mind's Eye kit. It came with 6 double-sided sheets of paper and a half, like a 6x12 sticker sheet, where most of the other collections, like this collection, was 12 double-sided pieces of paper and then a whole 12x12 sticker sheet. And so you can get either a half collection or a mini, I like to call it a mini collection, or you can get the full collection. And either way, you can use that to start to build a page kit. And so that's what I usually do. I'll take one of these page kits, and this one is from Photo Play. And I actually used this already. This is the Paper Crane collection. And I got this from Hobby Lobby. They had a really awesome deal. I think it was all the page kits were $2.50, and my friends and I went over there and we bought everything that they had. They didn't have much left, but we did manage to pick some up. And at first I wasn't going to get this page kit, and Then I noticed that it had, when you look at the stickers, let me show you all the stickers because this is really cool. If I find the stickers in here. Oh, here we go. So here we have the stickers, and there's also some cut aparts in this set as well. But they have like little sushi rolls or the chopsticks, and then they have this little one here. They have like nom nom, and then this little sushi. So they had this little Asian girl. They had a lot of things, and I love to go eat sushi. And I thought, well, I know that I didn't actually go to Japan or to Asia, but we do go to a lot of Asian restaurants. And so I thought this would be an awesome paper collection to have to do some scrapbook pages for us going out to dinner or to lunch. And so that's why I picked it up. And then I was able to get this. I think I bought this little ephemera pack from scrapbook.com one time when I was placing an order. And so I got some additional ephemera pieces that are super cute. And it has a picture on the back. Oh yeah, here we go. This is all the different pieces that are in there. So a really cute collection. And yeah, so that's what we're going to be using to build our page kit. And I'm also going to be doing the scrapbook process part of this as part of this video as well, because I won't be taking this page kit with me anywhere. I'm just going to be doing it at home. And so I'm going to be including not only the page kit and putting that page kit together, but also the process video for how I created the layout. Okay, so I'm going to start off by looking to see what I have available in this collection kit and also what's in this ephemera pack. I just kind of wanted to get an idea of what I had available. So the picture that I'm going to be using is that picture there with me and my mom. It was a picture that we took at a restaurant in Sugar Land, Texas. We had gone to Texas to visit my sister and her family, and when we go there, we always like to eat at some of the restaurants there. I lived in Texas for over 20 years, and I really miss all of the awesome restaurants they have. And there's a restaurant over there called Sushi Choo Choo that we like to go to, and it's this really cool sushi place that has this automatic system where you sit at a table and there's like a little enclosed conveyor belt that goes around the entire restaurant, and they put the little plates on there with all the sushi, and when you see something you like, you just open up the little door and you can take out the sushi and for your table. And then if you want to order anything special off the menu, you can order that, and then they will send it to you in this little train or car or truck that rides on top of that conveyor belt system. It's really cool. I have a video of it, and if you're interested, I'll put that video at the end of this video, and you can see it's really cool. It's an awesome place to go, and I think it's a chain restaurant. They have a bunch of them, so not exactly sure where they're located, but they definitely have them in Texas, in near Houston, and it's a really fun place to go and eat. Okay, so I went through the ephemera pack and pulled out a few embellishments, and now I'm looking at the sticker sheet, and then I'm going to go through these papers. This is a really cute collection. One of the things I find with collection kits, and one of the biggest problems, is that a lot of the paper is super busy, and so it's very difficult to build pages where you just have all of these different really busy patterns. So I think that's one of the reasons why I like to do page kits using a collection kit, because you really do need to pull in other pattern papers and papers to use as a background. And you can see how busy all of these papers are. I mean, really cute patterns. I love the one with the little Asian girls on it, and really cute. And yeah, it's really cute paper. There is six papers. There's two of each sheets, and it's double-sided, so there's a pattern on each side. Okay, so this is where I pull in paper from another collection. This is crepe paper, and it's a Maggie Holmes paper. And on one side, it's that really pretty wood grain, and on the other side is tickets. And I think I have 4 sheets of this paper. I love it so much. I'm planning on doing cut aparts for the back side, but yeah, I love that wood grain. So I thought that wood grain looked like a tabletop, like in a restaurant. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I chose it. And it's a very good neutral background. Okay, so now I'm going to go through and look at the different thickers that I have available. And I was really hoping to pull something that's going to stand out from that wood grain background. I really like the color of this blue thicker, but I thought it was because of the dots, it looked a little busy to me. And now I'm looking at this pink one, and that was didn't seem like it would go with this paper. Now this yellow one is super pretty, and I was just checking to see if I had letters to make the words that I wanted, and things were just falling off of this. It was just kind of funny. Um, I ended up having some that were stuck onto my hand. Do y'all ever have that happen where stickers will fall off and you find them like on your hand or your arm or stuck on your clothes? Okay, so I didn't have enough of these yellow thickers to make Susie Choo Choo, so I brought in that blue alpha from that 12 by 12 sticker sheet. And now I'm looking at this sticker sheet. This is also Maggie Holmes Flourish, and wanted to see if I could pull anything from there. Then I had these butterflies. These butterflies are so pretty. They're almost translucent, like they're on vellum. They're printed on vellum, and I got those from AliExpress, and they were very inexpensive. I want to say I got all these butterflies, and it was maybe a couple dollars. And yeah, really pretty. So I'm going to spend some time going through the butterflies and picking out ones that are aqua and pink. And yeah, so these are really pretty. I thought that butterflies went really good with this collection. Okay, so now I'm going to just go through some other embellishment packs and just see if I can find anything that might go as well with this collection. And I did pull in a few different things. And sometimes it's interesting because things that you think this collection might not go with this ephemera pack, but I did actually find a few things in here that I really liked. It had, I found that little pink flower and a little blue label. It's like a navy blue color, and it had some gold full accents on it. And so, yeah, I'm going to pull a couple of those pieces out of there. And now I'm going to look through this pack, and it has a bunch of frames and tags and labels. And I'm going to pull out some different labels. And I think I also pulled that pink tag and then that blue tag. I don't use all these pieces, but you know, sometimes when you're building a page kit, you're not really sure, you know, when you go to build the kit exactly what pieces you're going to use. So sometimes it's better to pull more pieces than you know than to just pull a few and then not have enough later. And part of the thing too, I think, with building a page kit is that you want to make sure that you have enough things, that you have choices when you go to make your page, but you don't want to put too many things in there where it gets overwhelming because you have too many choices. So it's kind of a balance of having enough to get your page done, but not going crazy and putting so many things in there that you don't, you know, that you struggle with getting your layout finished because you have too many choices. Okay, so I'm going through here and looking at this pack. This is from Jen Hadfield. And I did pull in a bunch of those florals, and I thought those were really pretty, and they look like they might go with this layout. So that's all my things that I brought in. Now I'm going to bring in some washi tape and see if I can use some of those. And then I brought in some little camera paper clips, and that's my kit. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the process part of this video where I'm actually going to be making the page. Now I'm going to start off by pulling out these alphas and getting those onto this wax paper because I wanted to put those alphas away because they were falling off of that backing. So I'm going to put those back in their little sleeve there. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and pull off the Choo Choo from this sticker sheet. This is a 12 by 12 sticker sheet. And I was having a hard time finding a thicker set that I could actually use to spell Choo Choo because it's 4 O's in there. So it used quite a few O's. And I thought that this worked really well because it was a smaller font. And I love to mix fonts together like that, like use 2 different color fonts and different sizes. I think it gives a lot of interest to the title. Okay, so now I'm going to start working on trying to figure out the placement for things, and I'm going to go ahead and try to cut down this picture. Now, this picture is a 4 by 6, and when I was looking at it, I couldn't figure out like how to make it into a square, but I did decide that I wanted to cut off the top of that picture because it was purple, and I did not have any purple in any of the papers or embellishments that I pulled, and it was a little bit distracting, so I did cut that part of the picture off. Okay, so now I'm going to try to see how can I lay out these different squares and rectangles and just trying to figure out like what could I do to kind of make this layout and make it work. And it's funny because I didn't really want to cover up too much of that wood grain background because the background is so pretty. And nothing I was doing here was working too well. So I'm going to go back to the idea of using like kind of the three things at the top left corner and the three things at the bottom right corner and try to see if I can get that to work. And so I'm going to cut these down into 3x4s. And then what I realized was that if I cut those down into 3x4s, they're still really, really big and it's not going to work because I don't have enough space on this 12x12 sheet to do three things at the top and three things at the bottom. And I was really struggling because I'm thinking, well, what size squares did Nicole Jones use? Because her layout looked really cute and she had managed to get three squares at the top and three squares at the bottom. So I got to thinking about it and I thought, well, maybe I should I think here I'm still doing 3x4s. Isn't it funny? It's like I think I messed around with this quite a bit trying to figure it out, and I just kept trying to see maybe if I could. Really wanted to use those 3x4 cards, and I think that's probably why I was sticking with the 3x4 because I really like those 3x4 cards, like the one with the wasabi and then the one with the ocean scene that had that saying on it. And I just realized it wasn't going to work. And nothing I was doing was looking right. The size of my picture didn't actually work with the size of these 3x4 cards. And I'm just really struggling with it. So, and then I figured if I did that, it's going to cover up entirely the wood grain. And that kind of looked cute, but I really wanted the wood grain to show. So, yeah. I'm just going to, and then I tried to go back to that little frame. The little frame was smaller, but I don't think it was still small enough. I think it was a 3x3. Okay, so this is where I finally figured out that I needed to cut squares that were 2.5 by 2.5 inches. And once I did that, then the layout started to go much better. I figured out, I said, okay, I'm going to cut these down. And I did try to cut down these 3x4 cards. And I don't know that they really looked that good once I did that. I kind of regretted that after I cut them down. There was one that I messed up, I mangled pretty bad. And then I thought about cutting that one down and I said, nope, it's not going to work. Yeah, I wish I wouldn't have cut this one down. I cut down that wasabi and it's still cute, but I probably could have used it on another layout like it was with the 3x4, but I cut it down and it does not look as good as it did before I cut it up. So okay, so say I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to put those little squares on there. And here's the one that I mangled. I just messed that one up really bad. I cut that off in the wrong spot and yeah, it looked really bad. Okay, so I'm going to get some pattern paper. I figured out I couldn't really use those cards, so I'm going to just get some pattern paper and cut that down into 2.5 by 2.5 inch squares. And now I'm trying to figure out where am I going to put my title, where I'm going to put my picture. And so, yeah, this layout didn't go very good. It's funny because I did a layout right after I did this one that came together so easy. It probably took me like an hour. And this layout took forever. And it's just funny to me sometimes how you can have one layout that you just struggle with and it just takes a really long time and seems like nothing that you try is working. And then you can have another layout that you finish so quickly and you have an idea and it comes together and it just goes, so smoothly and you get it done. And yeah, I don't know why that happens sometimes. I think in part this layout, it was a challenge because I was trying to do something with squares and my picture was not a square. I think it would have been a little bit easier if I would have had a 4x4 picture. And I was trying to force this picture to work with this layout, and I think that's one of the reasons why it wasn't going so well. Okay, so now I've got these little pattern papers, and I'm just trying to figure out like how am I going to get my picture to be there with those, and yeah, uh, I think it's coming out okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mat my picture on this white cardstock, and I'm using these We Are Memory Keepers layering guides, and they're really cool. It's one of my favorite things to use in my craft room because I can get a really nice even mat all the way around my picture. So I'm doing I think it's a 1/16 of an inch mat all the way around my pictures. It might be a 1/8 inch. Yeah, that might be a 1/8 inch. Okay. Look how even that is. It's so awesome. I have such a hard time using a trimmer to do that, so I love those layering guides. Okay, so now I'm looking through this paper to try to see if I can find something to use behind the picture as a mat. And I just wanted the whatever I use to stand out from that wood grain paper because it's going to sit right on top of that wood grain. And I tried a bunch of different things and I was kind of struggling with it. I think that blue would have been pretty, but I think eventually I decided to go with that stripe. Okay, so I picked the stripe and now I wanted to try to figure out how big did I want to make my mat. And I did actually mat the picture. I think I used like a half inch or about a half inch all the way around. And yeah, it's pretty funny. I did all this. And then when I go to put that on the layout and try to, put the little squares around it, I realized that, yeah, it's not going to work. So I put it there, I put my little squares, and I'm like, yeah, that ain't going to work. So I'm just going to go back and take that off. And then I was thinking, well, maybe I could just make it taller and I'll just put it at the top and the bottom. So I'm going to try to cut this down. I cut it in half. I wanted to kind of extend the picture just up because I couldn't really make it wider because it was hitting my little squares at the top and the bottom of my layout. So I went ahead and made that to where I could just put it on the top and the bottom. And now I'm trying to figure out again if that's going to work. And yeah, I turned the paper, I rotated the paper 90 degrees thinking that would make a difference. It doesn't. It's the same size, Karen. It's 12 by 12. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and try my title out here and see if, how that's going to look. And I thought about putting sushi and then choo-choo under it, but it wasn't really fitting there very well. And then when I put the choo-choo there, it was blending into that wood grain background too much. So I decided I would go ahead and put that choo-choo on some white cardstock, and then I'm going to put a mat behind it. I didn't use the green, but I was just kind of, that was handy for me there, and I was just trying to see, what color would look good to mat this little banner that I'm going to make. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and just, I drew a pencil line there because it was just easier. I wanted to make sure these letters got on there really straight, and so I'm just going to put the letters on this white cardstock. And I had this idea to make a banner and to kind of, make a banner end and make it look like, kind of pop it up on foam tape and make it look like it was waving. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to cut this down and then I'm going to back it with another cardstock and just cutting this down. I like making banners. I think banners are super cute and it kind of gives kind of a cool look to the layout because it made it look like it was a sign. And I thought that was really cute. So I tried a bunch of different of the pieces of paper that I had left over, those scraps, but nothing was really working. So I went back to my paper collection and I pulled out this really pretty tone-on-tone pink color paper and I went ahead and backed my choo-choo on that. Now I'm going to cut this into a banner and I apologize, I kind of went off the camera here on the side. I didn't realize I was so far over. But I went ahead and left this in because I wanted to talk about making this banner. I did put some foam tape on there, and in the middle, I kind of bent the paper and I put double foam tape in the middle, and then I put a little foam tape on the end to kind of make that stand out. Okay, so now I decided that my pattern paper wasn't standing out enough against the background of that wood grain, and so I pulled out this Distress ink in this really pretty blue. It was called Faded Jeans. And so I just went around all those different pattern papers with that blue color. And now I decided I wanted to go around the banner, but the blue, I tried that blue out on just a scrap piece of paper I had there, and I didn't like the way it looked. So I'm going to try out two different red and a pink. I think I ended up going with this really pretty pink color called Worn Lipstick. And it just added a little bit more to the edge of that tutu. to make it stand out more from the background. I think that's always a good way. If you're having some pattern paper that's blending too much into what you have below it, you can just ink up the edges of it, and it really does make it stand out more from the background. Okay, so I'm not going to take off this branding strip of this paper. That's such a pretty paper. I love the back of that, which was all those tickets, and yeah, it's kind of hurting me to use that wood grain, but I like the wood grain side too. So I like both sides. That's why I bought 4 pieces of that paper because I love it so much. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and glue down these little squares, and I started out using this T-square ruler, and I was having a hard time with this T-square ruler. It does not sit, if I just have like a single sheet of paper like that, I have a hard time with it sitting flush and giving me a good solid, a place to push my paper against. Well, I had gotten this We Are Memory Keepers laser LED tool, and I got that from Tuesday Mornings. I was super excited. I found it at the Tuesday Mornings in Metairie, Louisiana, and so I'm just trying this out. This is the first time I've ever used it, and I did like it. It was kind of cool. I did struggle a little bit with it. I think I'm going to have to maybe practice using it. But you just push those little triangles to where you want the LED lights to shine, and then you can use those LED lights to line up your paper. And so I'm just going to go ahead and line this up, and I thought it worked pretty good, but I think I might contact We Are Memory Keepers because I think the laser on the top one, it just didn't seem like it was going straight and following along with the line on the mat, and so I'm going to call and see if there's a way that I can adjust that. But yeah, I did like using that LED laser. It was pretty cool. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I decided I wanted to put some additional paper behind my photo, and I thought about using this really pretty. It was a cut apart, and it was had some Chinese characters on it. I just liked the blue, and I just wanted to add some more color behind my picture, so I went ahead and added that. Okay, so now I'm trying out these butterflies, and I move these butterflies around a lot. And they didn't end up making it on the layout. I just couldn't make them work. I think they were just too big. I didn't like, if I would have had some big ones and some smaller ones, I think it would have been really pretty. But because all of them were kind of the same size, it just wasn't working out too well. So I did go ahead and move my title down to the bottom of the layout. I also pulled in that little tag that had that little Asian girl, and I put that blue tag behind it, which I thought was really pretty. And so now I'm trying out some florals and some tags and just different things, trying to figure out, kind of where I'm going to put my embellishments. And I ended up doing a diagonal design again, which is interesting because I'd never done diagonal designs until I took this class with Nicole Jones 911, the Scrapathon 4, and she did a diagonal layout in one of her videos, and this is the second one now that I'm doing that's a diagonal layout. So yeah, it's something new to me that I have never really done before, and I kind of struggle with it because there's so much blank space at the top right corner and the bottom left corner. And I'm debating. I actually finished this layout, and I'm debating going back and adding something to it, just because I'm not sure. It just seems like it's so empty there. So I think what I'm going to do is add something to it and maybe show you the before and after. I'm not going to glue it down, and then y'all can give me your opinion about whether you like it with just a blank space or you like it better if I add some more to it. So I'm still trying to figure out where exactly I want to put my picture and where my title is going to go and kind of where my clusters are going to go. And I tried the title down here at the bottom. I had moved it down there, and I couldn't quite figure that out. I didn't think it looked balanced, so I think I decided to move it to part of it to the top. So I moved sushi to the top, and I have choo choo at the bottom. And I kind of put choo choo across the picture, and it kind of spills over into that little square, and I think that looks pretty cool. And I think that's where it's going to stay. Now I pulled out some more embellishments, and I found this little uh, yellow die cut that says "Friends are the best." And my mom is in the picture with me, and I thought that was appropriate though because we're very good friends. And I thought it added some additional yellow to the layout, so it kind of brought that color that's in sushi down to that part of the layout. Okay, so now I am bringing in my twine, and I created this twine ring that I'm using. I have these ribbon hang tags, and I decided that I would add all my twine to these hang tags so that I could keep this really close to my workspace. I have this hanging on my Rascog cart, and I just took a couple of yards of each color of twine that I have and added it to this ring. I have a video on how I did this. If you would like to see that, I'll put a link to that video in the description below. And yeah, it's really cool. So now I'm going to go ahead and add this pink and white piece of twine to my tag, and I doubled that tag up. I have that blue tag underneath the little tag with the Asian girl on it. And I just think that little tag there is so cute. I also added that little flower there at the top, and now I'm going to go ahead and glue down my picture, and I decided that's where it was going to go finally. And now I'm going to go ahead and start working on gluing down the title. Now I did add foam tape there, and it is making the tag look like it's bending, and I really love doing that. I think it adds a lot of dimension and interest to the layout. Also glued down the little tab that said smile. Okay, now I'm working on the tag, and I decided that I would put some foam tape in between the two tags to kind of make that top tag stand out. And I'm going to glue that little flower onto the bottom tag, and just using some liquid glue. That is the Art Glitter Glue, my favorite glue. I really love that glue. I'm having a little bit of trouble though with the fine. There's like a tip that you can buy that's metal that goes on top, and then you put a pin in it to keep it from clogging, and I'm having trouble with it. It's getting clogged, and I can't get it to flow out like it usually does. So I'm thinking about maybe getting a new one or trying to see if I can clean it out somehow. But okay, so I'm going to go ahead and try these butterflies out, and kind of scattered them around the layout, but I didn't really like how it looked, and so off they went. Now I'm going to add in this I love you little banner, and then I have this little banner here also that I added to the top, and it adds another yellow to the layout, and puts that yellow up there at the top, which is really cool. I'm going to glue that string down because it's bugging me that it keeps going over the little girl. And now I'm going to add in a paper clip. This is a little camera that has a heart in the center. And I tried it there. It's not going to stay there, but yeah, I tried it right there. I think it kind of blends in too much with the picture in that striped paper. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in some enamel dots, and I'm picking these enamel dots that are aqua, yellow, and pink. And these are from Gina K Designs, and they're so pretty. They have like a sparkle to them that is unlike any other enamel dots that I've seen. And I'm just adding them around the layout. And when I add enamel dots, I like to actually put the enamel dots and kind of tuck it under things. So you'll notice sometimes that when I'm adding the enamel dots, I will add it kind of halfway under something, and I think that's really cool when you do that. I also moved the camera right under that little smile tab, and I thought it looks much better right there. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put some washi tape. This is gold washi tape. I thought since I added that camera there that I needed to add some more gold to the layout, and I added washi tape there at the top on that tag, and now here at the bottom on that little square. Okay, so layout is getting to close to being finished, and I don't know, I'm just not too happy with it. I think that I was just really not liking the fact that it was so empty in the top right corner and the bottom left corner. I am going to add some additional gold enamel dots there as well, so just to add some more gold. Okay, so this is where I decided I really needed to add something else to this layout, and I found these parasols that come from the Maggie Holmes Sunny Days collection. It's a paper, and I had cut these out one evening. I love to fussy cut things, and I'll just take a piece of pattern paper and just sit and cut it out. So I had these, they were already cut up, and I just decided I would give those a try. And it's really cool because the colors match perfectly this the colors in this other collection from Photoplay. So I found some of the parasols that had a straight edge. I guess they were the edge of the paper, and I put those at the top and then there on the left-hand side at the bottom. And then I also tucked some underneath the choo-choo and over there on the right side of the photo and then next to the tag. I thought that would be really cute to actually incorporate that into the clusters so that it didn't make it look weird that I had these parasols at the top and the bottom, and because it didn't really match anything else in the layout. And so I'm going to go ahead and glue all this down. I think I did say earlier that I wasn't going to glue anything down, but I forgot about that, and I was so excited about how this was coming out that I just started gluing it all down. I was just really much happier with this design and having this additional element. I think bringing in the parasols really added a lot to the layout because I was adding circles, and that really made it pop because the rest of everything else on the layout was very square and rectangular. And I just thought it really made the layout flow so much better. I just love the way that this layout turned out. I was really worried there for a long time that I was not going to like this layout, but in the end, I really liked it. It's really came out cute. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish gluing all this down, and I did pop up a few of those parasols with foam tape, and I thought that really added a lot of dimension to the layout. And the last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back and I'm going to grab some of those gold enamel dots, and I'm going to just add those to the center of a few of those parasols, and I just thought that brought that gold color around the layout, and that's going to finish off this layout. So that's all I have for this video, but stay tuned for some close-up pictures and a short video of the Sushi Choo Choo restaurant in action. And if you like this video, please give it a like. If you would like to see more videos, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye now. Hi guys. It's a moving picture. We can move around.
Take a picture of the trucks and cars. Just kind of show them.
They're not moving. Oh, there's the one I want right here. I want
Okay,
this
Kim.
one.